on the Region Sports Network. We come to you tonight from Valparaiso High School as Armour Construction presents live coverage of the 2025 Indiana High School Football State Tournament. Tonight, the Valparaiso Vikings take on the Michigan City Wolves. I'm Leo Staudeher. I'll be handling the play-by-play for tonight's broadcast, and joining me with all the color analysis of tonight's game is Doug Nelson. Doug, we have the sectional semifinal between two Duneland rivals, two teams that played a close matchup in Week 4. This should be a good one tonight.
Absolutely. I think this whole sectional is going to be a good one. You know, you have the most competitive, analytically, the most competitive sectional in the state, you know, with the range of the best team and the worst team. So I think you're in for two amazing games tonight, and next week will be a dandy in the final.
In that matchup in Week 4, Michigan City picked up the 27-21 victory. The Wolves were led by 7 receptions, 162 yards, and 2 touchdowns from their senior wide receiver, Zaire McKinney. He's been a player that's really been one of those dynamic playmakers in the whole entire region.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, and he's going to put his thumbprint on this game here tonight. But it just we had that game, and it felt like Michigan City kind of let Valpo hang around. So, you know, when you have a chance to put a team away, you have to do that, and especially here in the postseason.
We'll see what this matchup has in store for us. The records for these teams, you can throw them away once we get to the postseason, but as it stands, Michigan City 6-3, 5-2 in Duneland play, 3-2 away from home, while the Vikings 2-7 on the year, 2-5 in Duneland play, 0-4 at home. So an uncharacteristic year for the Vikings, below 500 for the Wolves. They're a veteran-heavy group that's been flying high here with 6 wins on the year and trying to keep things rolling.
Yeah, Valpo, though, I mean, they've got 4 losses by a possession.
Right.
So they were in a lot of the games this year, and you just need a couple of those big plays to go your way, a couple of those bounces, couple, money time plays. But I think they're right there. And, again, as I mentioned in Sectional 10, I think any of the 4 teams can win it. I mean, and Michigan City on paper is the favorite. I mean, they have talent, but I think Valpo, and it kind of felt like they had maybe some stuff up their sleeve they're saving for tonight, and you just never know. It's going to come down to details and doing the little things right, but it's going to be a good one.
And I think the record doesn't tell the full story, like you've kind of alluded to with Valpo, because they do have a lot of playmakers on both sides of the ball. Maybe changed their dynamic a bit this year, where they were a run-heavy team in the past, and now they can kind of spread the ball around to some of those receivers. So you're going to have to be careful to see how they could scheme things up offensively tonight.
Yeah, again, it's going to be interesting to see how the defense can slow down Michigan City as well. But you got to take care of the football. And when they put drives together and didn't shoot themselves in the foot, they were fine. They moved the ball up and down the field between the 20s. But then there was some costly turnovers that seemed to get in the way.
So we are getting closer to kickoff here at Valparaiso. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll have the coin toss and the first kickoff. You're watching the IHSAA State Football Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For 26 years, Armour Construction has been beautifying homes across northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armour Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Have you heard? Stratton-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratton-Manteau.
Welcome back as Armour Construction presents RSN game night coverage of the IHSAA State Football Tournament right here on the Region Sports Network. Armour Construction for roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Call Armour Construction 219-987-2023. And if you're on your way to the game, the Friday night forecast is brought to you by our friends at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling. Tonight's forecast here in Valparaiso, it's 46 degrees and clear outside. There will be a little bit of wind in the area, but no chance of rain. It's a cool evening, Halloween here in the region. and both teams ready for some postseason football. That's the Friday night forecast brought to you by Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, keeping you cool in the summer and cozy in the winter. So Vikings and Wolves, their captains meeting at midfield, getting ready for the coin toss. The Vikings wearing their green helmets with white face masks, black jerseys with green numbers, green sleeves, black pants with some green trim, while the Wolves, white helmets with navy face masks, white jerseys, navy numbers on front and back, navy pants with white stripes down the side of the pants. So we get the result of the coin toss. Valpo won the toss and deferred, so we'll see Michigan City to receive to start the game. So the Wolves will try to get a good return, get some good field position, and bring Tristan Hart and that high-flying offense onto the field.
Yeah, again, they have between McKinney, Hart, and Jeremiah Thurman, it's almost every time they touch the football, something amazing is going to happen. It's going to be an ESPN-type moment, and they can break it and take it to the house. But it's going to be interesting to see how Valpo can contain that and see what they decide to do. Last time I think Hart threw the ball quite a bit, and they left a lot open underneath. So we'll see how the chess match goes here.
This is a Quintel kickoff. This kickoffs and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated. Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. If you're with us on Facebook or YouTube, this will be an audio-only broadcast. If you want to see the video of this matchup, you can head to the IHSAA Champions Network. Trevor Faulkner will look to hammer this one deep. The Wolves sent a pair of returners back, Evans and Thurman back to return, or McKinney is back to return. McKinney and Evans get ready as Faulkner steps into this kick, and we are underway. It flies towards the 5, and it squeaks out of the hands of the return man. He picks it up near the 1. He's going to try to keep going, but that was Damon Thomas. He stepped into the end zone, so it will be a touchback. So a bit of a frantic start to the game, but it will bring the Wolves offense onto the field at their own 20. They'll be led at quarterback by Tristan Hart. Jeremy Thurman and Demarion Evans both play running back. Nick Stewart is at the H-back position. The receiving core composed of Zaire McKinney, Mikel Laurent, and DeAndre Collier. Protecting the quarterback from left to right, Jeremiah Jones, Ralph Smith, Jack Soler, Jeremiah Hurd, and Edgar Garcia make up the offensive line. So the Wolves take over at their own 20-yard line. Hart in the shotgun. He's got Thurman to his right. Bit of a tight formation. They put a receiver in motion, but the snap gets past Hart. He just has to pounce on it at the 4-yard line. So a bit of a miscue on their opening play. It was a low snap. It went past Hart. He had to angle back to his left and just fall on it to prevent what could have been a major mistake from occurring. So the Wolves go backwards on their opening play.
Yeah, working out some nerves here. You just got to be careful. You don't make it too easy for Valpo right away.
Following the loss on first down, it'll be 2nd and 25 for the Wolves at the 4-yard line. Hart tries the hard count, and there will be some motion at the line.
False start.
And the false start makes things even more perilous for the Wolves as they'll be moved half the distance to the goal. And puts them very close to the goal line. I believe it'll be on the 3. So 2nd and long. Hart hands it off to Thurman. He's just going to dive forward, trying to get to the line of scrimmage. He'll be stopped short of the 5. Maybe right at the 5.
Yeah, Michigan City playing a little safe here, keeping the ball, keeping it close to the vest here early on. Just try to give the punter some room.
After the short gain from Thurman, it'll be 3rd and 25 from their own 5-yard line. Hart in the gun, looking to pass, throws to his right, connects with Laurent. He's looking to break through the defense of the Vikings, but they surround him and stop him shy of the 10-yard line. Brody Wheeler among one of the first Vikings in on that tackle. So that'll bring the punt unit out for the Michigan City.
Nice 3 and out there for Valpo. But, hey, that's what I was talking about, the team that makes high school sports normally, Leo, the team that makes the fewest mistakes wins. I know it sounds obvious, but it's not necessarily who wins the game, but who loses and how they lose the game.
The Vikings will send a pair of returners back on this one. J.Q. Vernado and Jimmy Parisi to return this punt from Serrano. He lets it fly towards the midfield logo. Parisi hauls it in, cuts to his left, keeps weaving forward to the opposing 40, where he'll eventually be stifled around the 37-yard line. We're bringing the Valparaiso offense onto the field. Led at quarterback by Kellen Hosick. Gage Finley plays running back. The receiving group made up of James Parisi, Chase Lovick, Mateo Machichi, and Sam Bernard. The offensive line from left to right, Caleb Haslat, David Castile, Jake Lape, Thomas McGessie, and Rigby Gora.
The guy that impressed me last time out, and he had a couple big plays, was number 23, Cooper Gear. He's a freshman.
Right, we saw him against LaPorte where he scored that touchdown.
Right.
He could be one of those dynamic playmakers, as well as on the first play from scrimmage, the Vikings hand it off to Finley. He shoots forward to pick up a couple of yards, moving towards the 35-yard line. So about a 4-yard pickup makes it 2nd and 6.
If you're Valpo, you can run the ball and eat the clock and keep that high-powered offense of Michigan City on the sideline.
And that'll be important for the Vikings here. You were able to force that 3-and-out, got a couple of mistakes on that first drive for Michigan City. Try to strike first here. Hosick hands it off to Finley. He's going to dance to the left side of the line, slows up, and then is surrounded by 4 Wolves players. They'll stop him just past the line of scrimmage. DQ Fields and Ethan Burskirk in on the tackle for the Wolves.
Yeah, Gage Finley is finally a senior. I remember watching him as a sophomore, and he had a lot of traffic in front of him with some really quality running backs.
Right.
But he's bided his time, and I think he's due for a big night. He had over 500 yards rushing on the year in a very heavy running back conference.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, there's some really good ones in front of him, but he is right there.
And he's a different style of runner than maybe those previous couple Vikings running backs. More on that as a moment, as on 2nd and 4, the Vikings go to play action. Hosick fires it forward, was trying to get it to a tumbling Lovig, but the ball bounces off the turf first and then into the hands of Lovig. Incomplete.
Interesting decision there. Interesting decision, Leo. 4th and short.
We'll see what the Vikings decide to go with here. If they do decide to go for it on 4th down, they've entered Four Seasons Mechanical 4-down territory, sponsored by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. The Vikings will go for it. 4th and 4 from the opposing 32. Hosick in the gun with Finley to his left. 3 receivers out to the right. Hosick steps back in the pocket, scans right, heaves one, and it'll be incomplete. Off the mark, was looking for Parisi. So that will be a turnover on downs. The Wolves get the stop, and they'll bring their offense back onto the field.
Yeah, it was like a little mix-up there. Parisi kind of ran like a button hook and kind of sat in his spot, and I think Hosick thought he was going to go out to the sideline a little bit. But he had some room, but safety was over him, though. But I don't know if he would have got the first down. But a little stalemate there.
Now the Wolves take over on their own 32. The defensive unit for the Vikings, led up front by Dean Papakronis, Ryan Cheek, Cameron Asbell, and Connor Haynes at the line. Brody Wheeler, Evan Courtney, Ethan Poisel, and Ben Fedorchuk at linebacker. The corners, J.Q. Vernado and Gio Garcia. Nick Fry patrols at the safety position. Hart hands it off to Thurman. He looks to drive to the right side of the line, getting wrapped up, tugged down by his jersey by Cheek. But there was a penalty marker, a hold against the Wolves. So Thurman looked like he was trying to break through there. Cheek was just pulling on, not the jersey, the shirt under his jersey, almost ripped it apart as Thurman just wouldn't be stopped, but it was eventually dragged down. But then will be all for nothing as the holding penalty moves the Wolves backward.
Michigan City's got the skill and talent to come back when they get behind the chains like this, but you don't want to make it a habit. Right? You don't want to have to do it every time, and they can do it easily here with a couple plays, but you just don't want to make that the thing that's happening every series.
That's already the second penalty on 4 plays they've run.
Yeah.
Hart in the shotgun, throws a quick strike to Stewart, and then Stewart is dropped on the play by Aiden Needles.
Yeah, Needles is a name you're going to say a lot, and Ben Fedorchuk's one of the biggest hitters we saw all year. I mean, he's always around the football with over 80 tackles on the year.
So a 5-yard pickup for the Wolves makes it 2nd and 11 from their own 31. Just over 8 minutes left to play in the first quarter. Trio of receivers split out to the left, one to the right. Hart in the shotgun. goes for play action, looking to his right to pass, floats one downfield, and it'll be off the mark towards the sideline, trying to thread the needle to Laurent, who was covered well, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, you couldn't cover that any better by Laurent, but Hart's got to keep the ball in bounds and give the receiver a chance, at least, maybe to get a PI call.
Ethan Poisel at linebacker was in on the coverage there, preventing that completion from falling in, as it'll be 3rd and 11 from the 31. Hart, lone man in the backfield, 7:50 left to play in the quarter. He's stepping back, pressure to his right. He's trying to escape. Papakronis scurries after him, and Hart will roll out of the pocket, scrambles forward, and gets the first down marker.
And that's what I mean about their athleticism and their ability to make plays. They can move the ball, and they're explosive. I mean, anytime they take off like that, anything can happen. But as long just get rid of the self-inflicted, problems, and then you're going to be able to move the football.
A 12-yard pickup from Hart secures a Four Seasons Mechanical first down, brought to you by our friends at Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. 7:41 remaining in the first quarter. Now the ball is at the 43-yard line of Michigan City. Hart hands it off to Evans. He tries to drive forward. He's surrounded by the Vikings, gets past the 45, and then eventually brought down. Or that was Thurman on the carry.
One thing that impressed me also, Leo, was the speed of the Valpo secondary. You can see how close they're trying to take away the run. They have a bunch of guys up in the box, and their safeties are relatively close to the line of scrimmage. But, you would think that the city receivers could get behind them, and, they do a really good job of keeping the ball in front of them.
After the 3-yard pickup, Hart rolls to his right in the pocket, heaves one towards Stewart. Stewart makes the completion, shakes past one defender, and then is forced out of bounds into the Vikings sideline by Fedorchak, and it will be enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. He gets to the Viking 47-yard line.
Yeah, as I mentioned, Fedorchak's going to be around the ball all night. He's going to, again, he's a playmaker on the defensive side of the ball.
Fedorchak, one of those long-time starters for the Vikings, leads the team, one of the team leaders with 88 tackles on the season. But the Wolves get a new set of downs with 6:48 remaining in the quarter. 1st and 10 from the Vikings' 45-yard line. Hart has a running back to each side of him in the backfield, 2 receivers to the left, and there is movement at the line.
It was funny. I was just looking up that young man's number. He's impressive size, number 64, Jeremiah Jones, 6'5", 265 junior. We talked about all the seniors on the field, but he's coming back, and man, what a specimen he is.
Yeah, their left tackle, the junior. Look at the left side of the line, 2 juniors and then a sophomore at center for the Wolves, so they'll bring back some experience next season at some important positions. 1st and 15 following the penalty. It'll be a handoff to Evans. He cuts to the left side of the line, jukes backward, tries to turn the corner, will get forward and drives the shoulder. Will be stopped a couple of yards short of the first down, but gets a large chunk of yards after the penalty.
Yeah, there's something, Coach Bernardi is going to have to look at is contain, right? There's been a couple times Michigan City's been able to turn the corner and get to the sideline, and that defensive end or safety's got to really turn him back into his crew, to come and rally to the football. But a couple times they've been able to turn the corner.
12-yard pickup for Evans. Makes it 2nd and 3. They will go to Evans again. He looks to shake forward along the left hash mark, and he will get just enough for the first down. Another Four Seasons Mechanical first down for the Wolves, and they're putting together a nice drive, moving deeper into Viking territory at the 34. No huddle offense for the Wolves. Out of the pistol, they hand it off to Evans. He's brought down after about a 2-yard pickup. So the run game starting to heat up for the Wolves as they're just doing it little by little. Evans and Thurman both helping out on this drive.
Yeah, as we mentioned, the size of that line, again, we say it every week. Those are like body punches, They add up, they accumulate, and by the fourth quarter, who's got the legs? Who's got the grit ready to go?
Just under 6 minutes to go, 2nd and 7. Hart fakes right, goes left, connects with McKinney. McKinney is twisted down at the 30. So it'll be the first connection to Zaire McKinney, the 6'4" senior. We mentioned he broke out for 162 yards and 2 touchdowns the last time these two teams met back in week 4.
He's an all-state type guy, man. He is just another specimen that they have, and you have to find ways to get the ball in his hands.
He'll be playing collegiately at Northern Illinois University next season. Also a standout player on the Michigan City baseball team. Set a school record with 41 stolen bases last spring. It's now 3rd and 5 for the Wolves at the left hash mark. 5 minutes to play in the quarter. Hart stepping back in the pocket. Lets one fly left side, looking for McKinney, and it's broken up.
Great coverage there.
J.Q. Vernado swatted it away with the right hand.
Great coverage. As I mentioned, it's like I said before, the speed of their secondary really impressive to me. Here's another decision. They're kind of in no man's land here, Leo.
So that makes it 4th and 5. The Wolves have entered 4-down territory. That's presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. From the Vikings' 29-yard line, the Wolves waiting to get the play call in. 7 seconds on the play clock, so they will likely try to get to the line quickly or take a timeout. That is what they will do. They will stop the clock with 4:58 left to go. So a big decision looming here for the Wolves, what they will try to do here on 4th down. It's currently scoreless here in the first quarter, as we will see what the Wolves end up drawing up out of this huddle. You can visit regionsports.com, Facebook/Region Sports Nation, Instagram and Region Sports Network, YouTube for this week's Home Improvement Top 10 presented by Enigenberg Exteriors. You can find them on the web at ebergexteriors.com.
Last couple of big plays, Valpos has been in man coverage. I think you can run the same type of pattern and either throw a back shoulder to McKinney or throw it up in the air and let him use that size. Yeah. You know, he can out-jump a lot of the secondary that he faces and just let him use it. Just kind of, as you mentioned, just kind of go out there and post up a little bit, get your body in between yourself and the defender and make something happen. But, you got to get the ball in his hands as many times as you can.
Following the timeout, the Wolves make their way back to the line. 4 minutes, 50 seconds to play in the half. 4th and 5 from the Viking 30-yard line. We'll see what they draw up here. Hart, lone man in the backfield. 3 receivers to his left, 2 to his right. They'll put Thurman in motion. And the ball falls out of Thurman's hand. He has to scoop it up off the carpet. He falls back to the 35, still fighting, and he's eventually toppled over by a host of Vikings. So the Valpo defense steps up on 4th down. After a bit of a broken play, they were trying that sweep to the left, handing it off to the man in motion, Thurman. It pops out of his hands. He picks it up, and then a lot of green helmets in front of him, nowhere to go. The Vikings will take over on their own 36.
You wonder if that was some kind of RPO, right? Where Hart tried to pull the ball back at the last second and hit something across the middle. But, that was just you got to execute under pressure.
From the right hash mark, the Vikings return to the field. 4 minutes, 51 seconds to play in the quarter. Hosick in the shotgun with Finley to his left. He hands it off to Finley. He's got room along the right side. He'll boogie forward and will get to the first down marker. Gage Finley with about a 10.5-yard pickup secures the Four Seasons Mechanical first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, I think, again, we saw early on, and we said how Valpo's have been a throw-heavy team. Really putting the ball in the air a lot more than they normally do. But, and like I said, I've been high on Finley since the first time we saw him. So get the ball in his hands, let him go. It's playoff time.
He's a bit of that dual threat running back where he can rush and receive. And it's another handoff to Finley. He gets to the midfield logo, and he'll just break into Wolves territory on another solid pickup on first down for Gage Finley, the senior running back.
Yeah, and, another cliche is whoever wins that trenches battle is going to win the game. The offensive line of Valpo is getting a really good push on the city defensive line.
It's an offensive line that the Vikings have maneuvered over the season, mixed and matched some different players, and might have found the combination that works right now. 2nd and 6 for the Vikings. Hosick with Finley to his left. It's another handoff to Finley. He dives forward and rolls towards the 45. Another slight pickup for Finley will make it 3rd and manageable for the Vikings. About 3 yards to gain here.
Yeah, Hosick's got 250 yards rushing. You see it you kind of feel that coming. They're going to kind of pull it out of Finley's belly, and Hosick will keep it. He was 3rd in the conference this year with over 1,800 total yards. So he's a dual threat guy. He can run it and throw it.
Yeah, for Hosick, 1,577 yards in the air, 10 touchdowns, 250 on the ground with 2 rushing TDs as well. On third down, he'll throw a dart to the right side of the line. Was looking for his receiver, Parisi. He had it in the hands, but was turning to his right, and it just slipped out incomplete.
Yeah, again, that was a good ball. Right, hits you in the hands, you should have it. But
that was Sam Bernard, the junior wide receiver, couldn't quite hang on to it, so the Vikings will bring the punt unit onto the field with it being 4th and 2. We'll see what Trevor Faulkner, how he can try to pin the Wolves inside the 20 here. Michigan City will send Damon Thomas back to return this one. We saw him with a bit of a slip up on the opening kick return, and we'll try to avoid that on this punt.
Yeah, a little field position game here.
Faulkner lets one fly towards the 5. It takes a bounce.
Nice job.
And skips out of play. So that'll likely have the Wolves starting the field at their own 9-yard line. Or about the 10.
Nice directional punt there. Get him inside the red zone. You know, we'll see. Neither team's been able to sustain a drive here yet, and we'll see if Valpo can, get Michigan City off the field yet again.
The Wolves will bring their offense onto the field at their own 10, near the right hash mark. We'll see what Hart and company can do here after being stopped on 4th down around the 30 of the Vikings on their last possession. Last time they were this far back, that was when we saw the penalty, the poor snap that Hart had to go backwards to jump on, so trying to avoid any mishaps in the shadow of their own end zone.
Oh, they're going big here. Who's the running back on our right-hand side? Number 60? Number 60.
Lineman in the backfield. That is Edgar Sotelo Garcia in the backfield, and they will hand it off going forward.
That's like a
to Thurman.
Goal lines line up there.
Yeah, near their own goal line. They bring a offensive lineman in the backfield. Garcia will stay back there. So Thurman will be behind Hart. Thurman and Garcia will be behind Hart. A bit of a interesting look here with the
you give that guy
senior offensive lineman, 6'2", 305 pounds. It's a handoff to Thurman. He cuts to the left side of the line, still has room to go towards the 30, but there is some laundry on the field. So it would have been a nice run for Thurman as he was able to break from the 15 to the 30. This one might be coming back.
Yeah, that's in the area of holding, and you got some linemen looking pretty guilty there. So
we'll get things sorted out. It will be holding on the Wolves, so that erases what would have been a nice pickup for Jeremy Thurman. Thurman, the senior running back, also plays some defensive back. 585 yards on the ground this season, 136 through the air, 5 total touchdowns.
Now that is like 3 big penalties on City so far early on here. That you can't. It's all things that are controllable, right?
Well, that's been impacting these early drives. We saw them overcoming a bit on their second drive where they were able to get to the 30, but then that play on 4th down really halted any momentum they were building.
Yeah, and Valpo's decision to punt on 4th down there seems to be, as of now, paying off. You know, pinning Michigan City back in their own territory here.
2 minutes, 25 seconds left to go in the first quarter. We're scoreless. 2nd and 16 for the Wolves at their own 9-yard line. Hart looking to pass to his left, throws it between a pair of receivers. He had Collier on the short side, McKinney to the far side of that pass. It dropped between the two of them, incomplete.
Yeah, they're putting a safety over McKinney, so they're kind of double teaming him now. And they tried to run number 3 underneath to get him open, but it was just over his head there. That was Dre Collier. He was kind of reacting to the throw, but yeah, that's a different look than we saw in the regular season, Leo.
12 yards to go on 3rd down. Hart in the pocket, looking to pass from the goal line. Fires a strike to Stewart, but then he is stopped by Fry, close to the 1st down marker. Wheeler helped out as well. It will be enough for the Four Seasons mechanical 1st down.
Wow.
So a good pickup through the air, about 13 yards from Hart to Stewart. Good tackle by both Wheeler and Fry to prevent any yards after catch, but the Wolves able to get just enough.
Yeah, that was a good job of the receiver knowing just how far he had to get, and a great ball there by Hart.
They make it to the 30. New set of downs, 1st and 10, a minute 45 left to play in the quarter. It's a handoff to Evans. He cuts to the right side of the line, gets stopped at the 29-yard line. Bank, one of the first Viking defensive backs, in on the tackle. Got some help from Fedorchak as well. So a 8-yard pickup.
Yeah, they still got number 60, that Edgar Sotolo Garcia in the backfield. He's a big guy.
Hand off to Evans. He's going to break to the left side. Gets a block from Garcia. Moves downfield. Still going past the 45. Gets tripped up at the logo. A long run for Evans. Picks up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. The Wolves will take over on their own 49-yard line, so not being hampered by those penalties and a couple negative plays as they've just been able to overcome it through the ground game here.
Yeah, as we mentioned, that they have the talent to move the ball, and those sometimes, those penalties don't hurt you, but you don't want to do it all night.
You don't want to make a habit out of it. On first down, they hand it off to Thurman. He breaks one tackle, breaks a second, and then is twisted down by Papakronis on a gritty run by Jeremy Thurman. 2 broken tackles and nearly a third.
That was a nice run, wasn't it? That was a Doolin conference run right there.
An 8-yard pickup with 32 seconds left to play in the quarter. The Wolves will have to run one more play as there's 20 seconds on the play clock. Hart will bring everybody close to the line. Collier and McKinney on the left side. They put Collier in motion. They'll hand it off to him. He's going to the right. Breaks through one tackler and then is stopped by a pair of Vikings at the 40. That's enough yards for the first down as he's then forced out into the Vikings sideline. Cheek and Fedorchak with the tackle there.
Let's see if they take it to the second quarter.
As the chains are set, 11 seconds to go. It looks like the Wolves will run it out here. So an intriguing first quarter matchup between two conference rivals. We are scoreless through the first quarter between Valparaiso and Merrillville. We'll have the second quarter coming up in just a minute. Stick around. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday Night Football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
You're watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network presented by Armour Construction. For roofing, siding, gutters, and more, call Armour Construction 219-987-2023. The Wolves trying to continue this drive as time resets. They flip sides of the field at the Vikings' 40-yard line. Hart throws one to his receiver, Laurent, and he will move forward to the opposing 35. So nice pickup on first down by Mikal Laurent.
Yeah, they're getting 3 or 4 yards a pop.
5-yard pickup through the air from Hart to Laurent. Makes it 2nd and 5 at the Viking 35-yard line on the far side of the field. Hart getting his troops set here. 2 receivers to the left side, 2 to the right. He's got Evans in at running back. Sidecar with him, and they will hand it off to Evans. It's a sweep to the left. He has room to go to the 30. Still going at the 25, and then he is shoved out of bounds by Varnado. A nice pickup for Evans. Gets the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yeah, you just run into the wide side of the field there. Great job by the line. As we mentioned earlier, Valpo's doing a better job of really cutting off that corner. I mean, I know he picked up like 8 or 10 yards, but he didn't go all the way. And Valpo, as we mentioned, the speed of their secondary does a great job of covering sideline to sideline.
That first down brought to you by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. 11 minutes, 20 seconds to play following the pickup from Evans. Hart will go to Evans again. He's got room through the middle. Down the runway, still going to the 15. At the 10, he is eventually wrestled down inside the 10. So another nice pickup on first down from DeMarion Evans.
Yeah, they really got Valpo spread out right now, a little bit on their heels. They got to get. They don't want to settle for 3 here. They want to get 7 points.
The Wolves have had a lengthy drive, backed up inside their own 10-yard line on a nice punt by Faulkner, but have been erasing that on nearly a 90-yard drive if they can get it to the end zone. Hart hands it off to Thurman. It drops out of his hands. He has to pick it up and still tries to run. He'll be wrestled backward past the 15, dropped around the 18-yard line.
Yeah, they'll give him forward progress there, give him a couple yards. Almost got back to the line of scrimmage, but this is the play that you can't have. City keeps stumbling here, and they got to clean things up a little bit.
So on the handoff, Thurman had it drop in front of him. He picked it up and then turned backward, trying to run away from trouble, but he had Fedorchak barreling towards him, and Fedorchak was able to get him for a 4-yard loss. On second down, swing pass to the left to Evans. He's going towards the goal line, and he'll be stopped near the 3.
He's an explosive back, huh?
Yeah, 11 yards through the air.
They have so many weapons. Evans only came in with over 216 yards rushing and 22 yards receiving. He's probably their 4th weapon that they have.
So 3rd and goal for the Wolves. 9:45 left to play in the second quarter. Looking for the first scoring play of the half. Hart in the shotgun. Evans to his right. They'll put McKinney in motion. Hart's going to keep it. Breaking to the left, he will step into the end zone. And the Wolves strike first on a 3-yard keeper for Triniston Hart.
Yeah, again, Valpo's done a good job of holding them out of the end zone in the first quarter, and I think it's just a matter of time with Michigan City's skilled guys and their ability to move the football and spread Valpo out a little bit there.
So Hart gets the touchdown. That will be his 6th rushing touchdown of the season. Awaiting the extra point from Charles Barnes. Steps into his kick and drives it towards the uprights, through the uprights, to put the exclamation point on that scoring drive. The Wolves lead 7-0 with 9.5 minutes remaining in the second quarter. The Vikings will look to respond. That will be coming up next as you're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling.
This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. It slices to the right as the Vikings have to return it near the 30, so they'll get good field position. And you're welcome back as Armour Construction presents RSN game night coverage of the IHSAA State Football Tournament right here on the Region Sports Network. So Fedorchak with the return gets the Vikings to the 32. And we'll see how the Vikings respond after what was a nice 90-yard scoring drive for the Wolves. But the Vikings take over. Hosick in the shotgun. Finley to his right. They'll motion a tight end to the left side of the line. It'll be a keeper for Hosick. He leans forward, gets past the line of scrimmage, picks up a couple, leading with his shoulder on first down. That was Cooper Gear on first down.
That freshman I was talking about, I like that guy. He's the next up, next guy up. That's what good programs do. They just flip it over to the next guy.
Yeah, Cooper Gear, 59 yards on the season, 1 touchdown for the freshman. Has played some Wildcat quarterback, played some running back. Will be an interesting player to monitor as his career progresses. He will again be in at Wildcat quarterback. With Finley to his left, they motion the tight end to the right. It's another keeper for Gear. He looks to the right side of the line. He's got room to go. Turning the corner to the 50, and he gets clipped by a defensive back and tumbles forward to the 50. The freshman, with a nice run, gets a new set of downs for the Vikings.
Yeah, the city corner, a little slow to get up, number 21, Damon Thomas. That was a nice tackle. I mean, he might still be running.
He almost got that.
He got
that shoulder towards him and just.
He got his head. He's got his bell rung a little bit.
It was a Four Seasons mechanical first down for Gear on the longest play from scrimmage for the Vikings this evening. Moves them to the opposing 47 as Thomas being helped off the field by a couple of his teammates. Now he'll hustle off the field and get ready to resume play here. First and 10 for the Vikings with 8:40 left to go in the second quarter.
Yeah, just that different look, of that Wildcat with Gear in the backfield. And just one more thing you got to prepare for. And it's kind of like what's coming, but you still got to figure out how to stop it.
Gear with a running back to his left. They'll motion Wheeler to the left side of the line. Gear, keeper, going up the middle. And the Wolves will stop him after he picks up a handful of yards.
Yeah, keep it simple, right? if you have the ability to run it like that, throwing the football, there's 3 different things that can happen: a fumble, turnover, or a reception. And with this, it's less things that could go wrong.
Yeah, as the freshman continues to stay in the game here. It's been a heavy dosage of Cooper Gear here in the run game. They'll put Marshall, the tight end, in motion to the right. Gear, again, quarterback keeper, right side of the line. Weaving forward. There's a penalty marker as he gets brought down past the 40.
Usually in the area of holding.
So that could deflate the confidence the Vikings are starting to build here as you want to avoid those penalty markers. It will be holding on the Vikings. So that will send them in the opposite of direction they were hoping to go.
They're still moving the football. There's no reason for panic, and it's only second down. So looks like Finley's coming back in.
We'll see which formation the Vikings step out, and they've also brought in a couple extra tight ends. We saw Wheeler, one of the linebackers, in at tight end. Going with that heavier formation. It'll be second and long. Fedorchuk in as well. It's still Gear at quarterback.
They're bringing in some muscle.
So Wheeler and Fedorchuk at the left side of the line. Gear and Finley in the backfield. It'll be a reverse. They hand it off to Fedorchuk. The linebacker rumbles forward, breaks through one tackle, keeps driving to the 30. Ben Fedorchuk with a nice pickup of 20 yards gets the Vikings a first down.
Yeah, again, just a guy that can change the game on both sides of the football, and nice crafty move there by the Valpo coaching staff.
So the senior linebacker, don't believe, looking at the stats, he had a carry prior to that one. He picked a good time as he was able to drive towards the 31. Four Seasons mechanical first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, the kind of a counterplay like that, a misdirection, it takes the aggressiveness of the Michigan City defense and use it against yourself.
Gear will go through the keeper, calls his number to the 30, keeps moving, tiptoeing down the sideline and is shoved out of bounds at the 15. Cooper Gear, 16 yards, picks up the Four Seasons mechanical first down.
He's got a burst. He goes 0 to 60 quickly, doesn't he?
So the freshman stepping up on this drive for the Vikings, energizing the home crowd, moves them to first and 10 from the Michigan City 15. The Wolves lead 7-0, but the Vikings within striking distance here. Gear Another quarterback keeper. Fedorchuk paves the way. Gear still moving towards the 10, where he'll be contained by the Wolves, but a nice, about a 4-yard pickup.
Yeah, moving the football 4 yards a pop. Why do anything else? Until Michigan City figured out how to stop it. Keep running it.
4 yards through the ground for Gear. The Vikings will head back to the line. 6:43 left to go in the quarter. They'll put Marshall, the tight end, in motion to the left. Gear breaking to the left side of the line. Nice block by Fedorchuk. He keeps weaving forward down the runway to the end zone. And the Vikings answer back. Cooper Gear with an 11-yard scamper brings the Vikings within an extra point of tying this one up.
First quarter was a little feeling out period, evidently, right?
Yes, both teams able to score through quarterback runs as well. Hart with a 6-yard run, and then Gear answers with an 11-yard run. Or did we have a penalty on the play? So not so fast.
They brought it back, huh? You never like taking points off the scoreboard.
So that will take away the touchdown and will make it 2nd and long for the Vikings. So now trying to reset things. Valparaiso will still have Gear at quarterback. 2nd and long from the 21. They'll need to get it to the 11. Pass 11. Gear through the air. Downfield. Swatted away by a defensive back. He was looking for a tight end downfield. It was punched away by one of the safeties of Michigan City.
Oh, we got a late flag here. It looks like a late flag, but the Gear was rushed a little bit with the pressure of Michigan City. But if he kind of put some air under that, he might have had a touchdown.
Kind of trying that misdirection where he stepped up a couple yards and then that short throwing motion. The penalty will be on the Vikings. So talking about penalties that could derail a drive, you get the touchdown taken away and then a penalty on the first play after.
So that's a dead ball penalty. So it's probably third and long now.
So trying to get things sorted out here. I believe it was supposed to be an ineligible man downfield, but it appears to be the same distance.
I believe the ineligible man downfield is also a loss of down. But I don't know why they didn't really move the football, right? Did they?
They did not move the football. No, it's still the same distance, 3rd and 15. The penalty was
declined.
That's
why.
Explains it. So it looks like Hosick back in at quarterback now. 3rd and 15 for the Vikings. Trying to find Paydirt. From the left hash mark, Hosick. Escaping pressure, rolling to his right. Throws towards the end zone, and it's broken up by the Wolves. Gibson got a hand on it and redirected it away from the intended receiver. He was looking towards Lovig in the end zone. The incompletion brings up 4th and long for the Vikings.
That's kind of a textbook no-no, to roll to your right and throw back to your left across the middle. Very dangerous, but here we go, 4th and long. The special teams of Valpo has been pretty good so far with a nice punt down here. We'll see if they can get on the scoreboard here.
We'll see Faulkner attempt the field goal from the 21. Faulkner with some...
They got to hurry up.
He steps into the field goal. It is blocked. Did the Vikings get the timeout in time? If the snap and the hold were underway, the kick was attempted. It was initially swatted away by the Vikings, but Bill Marshall was trying to call timeouts.
I don't know if he's calling a timeout or just questioning the play clock.
Interesting. We'll see what happened here. Everything did feel a little
rushed there, didn't it? So going to do it again.
So we'll redo that play. My question would be, what will he do about the time that elapsed there? So it's still 4th and 15 from the 21, but time did expire.
The play clock is still at 2?
Yeah.
Are you going to reset the play
clock?
clock?
Yeah, I think they'll have to put some time back on the clock here. So they'll replay the down.
You didn't call timeout. I think Coach Marshall wants an explanation.
Now there will be a timeout taken by the Vikings. I think we will take one as well as everything gets sorted out here. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I've received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana, Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power.
The Vikings have entered 4-down territory. That's presented by Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. Visit them on the web at fourseasonsmechanical.com. Hosick stepping back to pass, looking to his right, floats one downfield for Parisi. Jump ball in the end zone, and it's intercepted by the Wolves. Lorette with the interception, swatted it away from Parisi, and then on his way back down to the turf was able to haul it in near the chest, made the interception in the end zone. So the Vikings roll the dice, go for it on 4th down, and it's an interception for the Michigan City defense. You're also watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network, presented by Armour Construction, exterior remodeling experts. Give them a call today at 219-987-2023, and you can always check them out on the web at armourconstruction.net.
Well, the interception, I mean, I'm not minus the lack of touchdown. It's like a long punt. I mean, you know what I mean? I mean, they decided to go for the 7 points, but it doesn't hurt you that bad here.
The Wolves take over on their own 25, 42 to play in the quarter. It was a drive where the Vikings nearly scored, had it called back. It'll be a handoff to Evans. He's driving to the right side of the line, gets brought down at the 25.
If nothing else, it was kind of a slowed down the momentum that Valpo had built with that drive, led by by Gear. That was like a spark plug there. Brought some life to the Valpo sideline.
So Hart and the Wolves step up, 2nd and 4 at the 26. Hart, high snap, gives it to his running back Evans, and the Vikings stop him in his tracks on the right side of the line. He will pick up a yard, though, and that high snap might have given the Vikings a little extra time to get to him.
Yeah, that messed up that timing just that much, and it's interesting to see, like we said, McKinney has been covered by his kind of face guarded and with the safety over the top, so Michigan City's going to have to find somewhere else that they can step up and get him there.
Edgar Garcia back in at fullback. The Wolves go with a play-action pass to McKinney. Yeah. He breaks all the way to midfield and will be stopped near the logo at the 50. So Zaire McKinney gets a large amount of yards for the Wolves for the Four Seasons Mechanical 1st down.
Yeah, you were just waiting for that to happen with that little slant pattern. I mean, you got 2 safeties back the way they did. He just kind of splits the safeties. He just beat the guy, beat the corner in the inside there.
It's now 1st and 10 from the Viking 49-yard line. Michigan City leads 7-0. They'll go with a handoff to Thurman. He cuts, keeps moving, driving down the right hash mark. Still on his feet as the Vikings trying to wrestle him down just past the 40. Jeremy Thurman with an aggressive run on 1st down. And will pick up enough yards for the Four Seasons Mechanical 1st down.
Yeah, again, it's like pick your poison. And, again, they kind of have Valpo defense guessing right now. As soon as you get the ball to McKinney and the weapons, they can move the ball in the middle of the field. And Valpo's got to tighten up. I don't know if you want to go down 2 possessions here to Michigan City.
It was a 12-yard pickup for Thurman. Hart on first down gives it to Thurman again. This time he'll be stopped near the line by the Vikings. Wrestled down by Asbell for a 2-yard pickup.
All that the run, every time you run it, it just pulls up those safeties just a little bit more. It brings up those linebackers.
3:40 left to go in the second quarter. Michigan City leads by a touchdown.
You know, so far the breaks have gone Michigan City's way too. They've were a couple of loose balls, right? And
yeah.
they were able to land back on the ball and keep possession. And years past that wasn't the case.
After the 2-yard pick by Thurman, they'll look to go through the air. Hart fires downfield to McKinney. He dives and makes the catch.
They've spotted him the ball.
It looks like it will be a pickup through the air. Hart was.
Wow.
McKinney was diving.
The ball was loose.
Yeah, close to the turf, and then when he made impact, it wasn't entirely sure if he made the catch, and now there will be some discussion. It will now be called incomplete. One referee was getting ready to place the ball, then a second one.
I think that's a good job of the official to get it right. And the back judge back there, he doesn't have the best angle for that. I know he was marking the ball. That's his job. You know, the other guy stepped in and said that was on the ground.
Third down, 8 yards to go. Swing pass to the left to Evans. He's got some room. Speeds forward to the 25 and will be thrown out of bounds, but it will be enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down on the swing pass to the left.
I think that might have been a horse collar back there, Leo. I don't know if he brought him down by the sideline there.
Don't see any penalty marker.
No, they didn't call it, but I think he might have got away with one.
So 1st and 10 from the 22. 3:03 left to play in the quarter. And now the Wolves putting together a nice drive. Hart stepping back. Pressure in the backfield. He's escaping the pocket, rolling to his right.
Look at that. They're in man
coverage. He's going to keep it.
Still
running. Hart down the sideline,
yeah.
And he finds the end zone.
Yeah, Valpo was in man coverage, and they start running like that and just keep running to the end zone, and the defense is running with you.
Triniston Hart with a 22-yard scramble for his second rushing touchdown of the day makes it a 13-0 lead for the Wolves with 2:51 left to play in the quarter.
It's hard. You know, you play two safeties deep, and then McKinney splits the safeties. If you go man, then they can run it like that, and the secondary's got their back to the football.
So Hart with his 7th rushing touchdown of the season, awaiting the extra point from Barnes. The snap, the hold, the kick, all good. It's now a 14-0 lead for the Wolves with 2:51 remaining in the quarter. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schregel, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you can reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Another Quintel kickoff. The Vikings looking to get the return. All kickoffs presented by Quintel Incorporated as he walks along the left hash mark, and the Wolves surround him and eventually bring him down as the forward progress stops Parisi, and we're watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network presented by Armour Construction. For roofing, siding, gutters, and more, call Armour Construction 219-987-2023. Now Kellen Hosick and the Valparaiso Vikings trying to answer on their own 27-yard line, trailing 14-0 after a good answer from the Wolves. After the interception on 4th and 15, they were able to drive downfield and get a 22-yard scramble from Hart for the touchdown.
Yeah, if Valpo's able to score here, they could double up. They can get the ball out coming out of halftime. So it'd be nice for them to get on the get on the scoreboard right now.
Hosick, lone man in the backfield, throws a pass downfield, was looking for Parisi, who was sent down to the turf. He was looking for a pass interference call, did not get it. So that incompletion will make it 2nd and 10 for the Vikings.
I think he bumped into his own guy, Leo.
Yeah, might have bumped in with Bernard. I didn't see the initial contact. I just saw him somersaulting down an open field. And so now the Vikings trying to regroup here. 2 minutes, 39 seconds left to play in the first half. Valparaiso has 2 timeouts remaining. Hosick in the shotgun with Finley to his right. They send a man in motion from left to right. Hand off to Finley. He drives along the left side, shakes past one tackler, keeps going downfield, crossing midfield towards the 40, and then he's shoved out of bounds. Gage Finley with a nice run. It's a Four Seasons mechanical first down for the Vikings.
Yeah, they have the weapons on the ground, as we've seen, and they have time, so they can move the football and get the ball in the red zone. It's the Valpo air game right now is kind of lacking.
New set of downs for the Vikings at the 49, 22-yard pickup for Finley as he was angled out of bounds. So Hosick with a running back to his right, 2 receivers on the right side, 1 to the left. 7 seconds on the play clock. He steps back looking to pass, pump fakes, throws left behind Finley. He was just trying to get rid of that ball as he had pressure in the backfield and threw it a couple yards behind Finley.
Yeah, that looked like number 69, Leo, Mark Fitzpatrick from Michigan City. That was a 5'11", 245 defensive lineman that was kind of putting the heat on Hosick there and kind of sped it up yet again.
The incompletion makes it 2nd and 10. 2 minutes, 19 seconds remaining in the first half. The Vikings head back to the line. Michigan City leads 14-0.
Looks like they got 2 timeouts left. That time's not an issue right now.
Another handoff to Finley. He's moving along the right side of the line, but he will be stopped behind the line by Burskirk and got some help from his friend Michael Hopp for a 1-yard loss.
City's calling a timeout, maybe trying to get the ball back. I think Michigan City is kind of overlooked is the defense. The defense is pretty good, minus the games they lost. Against a very good Crown Point, a very good Maryville team, and a very good Lafayette Jeff team. They've kept most people under 20 points, so it's kind of understated.
Right.
But the offense gets all the pub, but they're holding Valpo here, pretty well so far.
Check out the IBEW Local 697 electrifying plays from this week's football action. Visit regionsports.com, Facebook/RegionSportsNation, or on Instagram. The electrifying plays are presented by IBEW Local 697, the electrical professionals.
We had a quick Strachan Van Til scoreboard update. Knox was up on Griffith 22-0.
All scoreboard updates are presented by Strachan Van Til Food Market, your favorite Indiana-made grocery store. 3rd and about 10 for the Vikings. They have a trio of receivers split out to the left, 1 to the right. Hosick and Finley in the backfield. Hosick looking left to pass. The pocket's collapsing. He's going to escape to the right, crosses midfield, and it is thrown out to the Vikings sideline. Tackled on the play by Desmond Howard.
What an athletic play there by Howard. 6'3", 235 junior. Man, he ran Hosick down.
So it'll bring up 4th down. The Vikings.
And he got out of bounds, right?
Yeah, but I think they're sending the punt unit out there. It looks like Faulkner will take the field. So 4th and 4.
I'm saying it stopped the clock, though.
Opposing 43, yeah.
That was an athletic play there by Howard, man.
Howard
that was a next level stuff.
A play that stopped prevented a first down. The snap, just as the Vikings were able to get an 11th man on the field, Faulkner drives it high towards the end zone, and it skips into the end zone out through the back for a touchback. Michigan City will take over at their 20-yard line with 1:57 left to play and a 14-point lead. This could be massive if they're able to finish this drive with points.
Yeah, what you don't want to do, though, is turn it over. Don't be in too big of a rush. You are trying to add to your 2-possession lead, but you don't want to get Valpo back into the game by a silly mistake.
At the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Crowell Companies Lantern Man Superhero of the Game. Crowell Companies, the business professionals. Tristan Hart and the rest of the Michigan City offense getting ready to take the field here, deep in their own territory. Hart, 2 rushing touchdowns on the season, one of 11 yards, the other of 22.
Yeah, they can score quick. They gain yards in bunches. 2 safeties.
And the play clock goes down to 0. We'll see if do they have a timeout left? They have 1 timeout left, so it'll be a delay of game. Sends the Wolves back 5 yards.
I don't think 5 yards bothers them.
No, the way they've been able to erase some of these penalties in a heartbeat.
Yeah, they've been behind the sticks like a lot of the evening.
1st and 15 from their own 15. Hart looking left to pass.
Pump
fakes. Lets it fly. Downfield towards Collier. It is incomplete. Broken up.
That hit him right off his shoulder pads.
J.Q. Vernado in the coverage. Collier was trying to make that pass looking over his shoulder. It bounces off of his shoulder pads and falls incomplete.
What a play. You could see that coming. He kind of threw a duck. It was not a clean ball.
Incompletion makes it 2nd and 15 with 1:49 remaining until the halftime break. We'll see now what the Wolves try to draw up here. 3 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Hart on play action, rolling to his right. Pump fakes, has 2 Vikings in front of him. He dances past both of them.
First down.
Heaves it towards Collier, and then Collier rumbles forward for the first down. So a bit of an off-speed delivery on the throw from Hart to Collier, and he was able to break through as Hart danced his way out of a jam there as he had 2 defenders right in front of him.
That was like a Mahomes play there.
Yeah.
Just keep the play alive, and
it was enough for a Four Seasons mechanical first down. On the new set of downs from the 33, Hart looking to go through the air again. He'll tuck it and run, breaks past the line of scrimmage, and then is dropped by a Viking linebacker. Maybe 1 too many moves for Hart as he ran out of time there on the 4-yard pickup.
Still got time. But they do have to hurry. A little bit of urgency here.
Yeah, 2nd and 6 with 1:09 left to play. Only 1 timeout remaining for the Wolves. Hart swing past the Thurman on the right side. Harmon breaks past the line of scrimmage, gets the first down, and then steps into the Wolves sideline. Thurman gets the Four Seasons mechanical first down for City.
Yeah, if you're Valpo, nothing else, try to keep him in bounds.
Ryan Cheek was able to shove him out of play.
Nice little 2-minute drive here by the Wolves.
The Wolves move to the Vikings' 46-yard line.
They're moving the pocket.
Hart in the shotgun, 2 receivers to either side. Steps back to pass. Looking to the left. Dumps it over to Evans. Evans follows his blockers downfield along the left hash mark and then gets stopped by Fedorchuk at the 39. It's the Four Seasons mechanical first down.
How about big number 71, Jeremiah Hurd, 6'2", 345. Senior there, Leo, out in front blocking.
He helps drive the Wolves downfield to the Vikings' 39-yard line. They're getting set with just over 40 seconds left to play. Hart connects with Laurent. Laurent trying to break through the
good hit.
Vikings secondary. Will pick up, looks like it will be just past 10 yards for another Four Seasons mechanical first down. 33 seconds remaining. Cheek with the tackle. Hart and the Wolves. New set of downs from the 27. Hart in the pocket. Senses pressure. Breaks out of the pocket. He's scrambling. Still going past the 20. Down the sideline and finds the end zone. Tristan Hart with his 3rd rushing touchdown of the evening.
It's like a video game.
A 27-yard scramble for Hart. His 8th rushing touchdown of the season makes it 20-0 for the Wolves with 16 seconds left to play in the quarter.
Yeah, when you have Valpo, again, we mentioned it, they're playing man defense, and their back is to the quarterback, trying to cover the the receivers of Michigan City, and they have no idea that the ball's running up their back.
So awaiting the PAT from Barnes. The Wolves led by a 3-touchdown performance on the ground from their quarterback. Trying to make it 21-0 with a clean extra point here. The snap, the hold, the kick through the uprights. Barnes makes it 21-0 for Michigan City. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Life isn't always loud. Sometimes it's the quiet moments that matter the most. Of effort, of a dream taking root. And behind those moments, there's trust. Thank you for trusting Centier Bank with those moments and making us a part of your story. Thank you for the opportunity to earn your trust.
At Blyce, we're used to having the athlete shop at our store.
Down, sit, put.
But sometimes they get carried away. Blyce, this is where the athlete shops.
On the Quintel kickoff, it'll be a short kick towards the 20. The Vikings trying to return it. 14 seconds remaining as he's breaking downfield and then gets toppled at the 35-yard line. You're watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network presented by Armour Construction. When it's time to armor up, call Northern Indiana's top team, Armour Construction, for all of your exterior remodeling needs. For more information, visit armourconstruction.net. Now the Vikings will take over 1st and 10, 36 on their own 36-yard line, 10 seconds remaining. We'll see just what they end up doing here, if they'll run a play or if they just try to get to the half. Hosick will be in the shotgun with 2 receivers to the right, a tight end and a receiver to the left. Motion left, Parisi joins them in the backfield. It'll be a swing pass to Parisi on the right side of the line. Gets to the 40 and then is thrown out of bounds by a pair of Wolves. 4.6 seconds remaining after a handful of yards picked up by Parisi.
Yeah,
second and 5.
See if they play it safe here.
We'll see.
You see the City defense is backing up, playing like a prevent. Probably last play of the half, right?
Yeah, 4 seconds to go. Hosick in the shotgun on the right hash mark. They will hand it off to Finley. Finley has room, still weaving forward, makes a cut at the logo, breaks to the left side, past the Wolves 40, then shoved out of bounds as time expires. But Gage Finley with a nice run to end the first half. Michigan City with the lead over Valparaiso 14-0. We'll see with the Vikings how they fight back in the second half. We'll have some halftime coverage coming up following the Commissioner's Corner. We'll take a look at some scores around the region and talk about this game. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
It's time for the Commissioner's Corner, an exclusive weekly conversation about Indiana high school sports with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. Now for an up-to-the-minute report about what's happening in the constantly changing world of high school sports, here's Commissioner Paul Neidig.
Welcome into the Commissioner's Corner, our weekly conversation with the Commissioner of the IHSAA, Paul Neidig. I'm Brendan King. Commissioner, we were just talking off air about how much is going on across IHSAA athletics action, especially in the next week or so. We're going to have the boys and girls soccer state finals coming up this weekend from Carroll Stadium at IU Indy, girls volleyball semi-state, boys football sectional semifinals, and then add one more layer into the coin. Girls basketball is about to get rolling next week. One of the busiest times of year, no?
Oh my goodness, yeah, it's busy, but in really in a good way. Yeah, this is the culmination of summer of hard work, which leads into the fall, and things have gone well. But here we are. We've we've started celebrating state championships a couple weeks ago with golf and tennis and unified flag football, and we're going to hand out some more hardware coming up the next couple weeks. It comes fast.
Absolutely. Boys and girls soccer state finals, Halloween night. It'll be boys Class A and 2A, and then Saturday, November 1st, everybody else takes stage. From Carroll Stadium, Commissioner, what do you love most about the state finals being there at IU Indy?
First of all, if you go back to that origin of that stadium, and it was built for the Pan American Games years ago, it's just hosted so many iconic events from track and field to certainly IU Indy's events, and we've been there for our state championships for the last several years. And again, it's right downtown in our beautiful city, and it gives an opportunity for fans to come to town to enjoy the city, but really watch soccer in what I would call an incredible high school facility, like all the places that we play. They're just incredible facilities that showcase our sports well.
It's the Commissioner's Corner. I'm Brendan King with Paul Neidig. Sectional semifinal Friday for IHSAA football being on Halloween night. You know, I'm from Illinois, but even in the Illinois playoff setting, it was always special whenever you could get playoff or tournament football on Halloween, because in these communities, no matter where, the kids are going to go trick-or-treating, and then a high likelihood that all those minivans and cars going around from trick-or-treating are going to wind up at a local high school football game. How special is that?
Oh, it is. It's really cool. And, you know, I know some schools are actually gonna have trunk or treat, like some schools do, as they come to their games on Friday night, and make sure that the Halloween experience is still there for the youth of those communities. And so it's really kind of exciting. It doesn't happen very often, but it'll certainly be an evening to remember, as they say.
Looking forward to it. Paul Neidig, our guest, the commissioner of the IHSAA on the Commissioner's Corner. Paul, what can you say about the upcoming basketball season? Because, again, girls' games start literally next week.
Yeah, you know, they've been, again, I think it's going to be an exciting year. And it's always, every team is undefeated, you know, and they've worked hard throughout the summer. They've played a lot of games. They've continued with their opportunity to grow in their game throughout this fall. And now they're going to see where they're at. And, you know, that hope of getting to Gainbridge Fieldhouse, home of the Pacers and the Fever, is certainly something that's at the top of every conversation that these teams have as they kick these seasons off. And they've set those goals, and they're going to see if those goals can become their reality come the first of the year.
Paul, we talked a little bit about this last week in that girls volleyball state finals. It's going to be at Gainbridge Fieldhouse, but first semi-state coming up this weekend. Gainbridge Fieldhouse set to host the girls volleyball state finals on November 8th. Can you talk about that process and getting that over to Gainbridge, joining multiple other sports as you have talked about?
First of all, it's such an iconic facility. It's the greatest field house in the country, and certainly it's built for basketball. But as we saw with the IU Purdue women's match there a couple weeks ago, it certainly transitioned to a volleyball facility really well. And through conversations, you know, we decided that it was the right thing to do to move it there, even though we left Worthing Arena, which was an incredible host for many years. We're going to see what it looks like downtown Indianapolis, and they're excited to host it. We're excited to be there, and we hope that everybody comes out and watches a high-level volleyball with some players that are nationally ranked to celebrate state championships.
Paul Neidig, he's the commissioner of the IHSAA. This is the Commissioner's Corner. I'm Brendan King. Paul, thanks for the time. We'll talk to you next week.
Thanks, Brendan.
Thanks for listening to the Commissioner's Corner with IHSAA Commissioner Paul Neidig, and thank you for your continued support of the high schools in your community.
Welcome back as Armour Construction presents RSN Game Night coverage of the IHSAA Football State Tournament right here on the Region Sports Network. Exterior remodeling experts, give them a call today at 219-987-2023, and you can always check them out on the web at armourconstruction.net. Leo Staudaher and Doug Nelson with you here as we're at Valparaiso, where the Michigan City Wolves lead the Vikings 21-0 at the half. We'll talk about what we saw in the first half and what we expect in the third quarter in a moment. But now let's take a look at some scores from around the state here, as this scoreboard update is courtesy of your neighborhood Strack and Van Til Food Market. Strack and Van Til, shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strackandvantil.com. Starting in Class 1A, LaVille leads over North Judson 24-8 in the third quarter. Bowman Academy trailing West Central. The Trojans lead that one 40-14 at the half. Moving to 2A, and Drayen with a 14-6 lead over Wheeler in the second quarter. Rensselaer Central and Bremen in a close one, 17-12 in the third. Moving things to 3A, Calumet trailing Mishawaka Marion 35-8 in the third, while Knox with a 36-7 lead over Griffith in what's been a high-scoring game for the Redskins. That one's at the half as well. Moving to 4A, Lowell with a 28-0 lead over East Chicago Central. The Hobart Brickies with a 29-0 lead over Kankakee Valley. In other Class 5A action in Sectional 9, Munster and Hammond Central scoreless so far, while in the second quarter, Maryville with a 14-0 lead over the Morton Governors. Taking a look at the other side of the Sectional 10 bracket, the winner of this game will face the winner of the LaPorte Slicers and the Chesterton Trojans. They are tied up at 14, approaching the half there at Chesterton. In 6A, Crown Point leads over Lake Central 35-0, while Penn, Kingsman leading the Portage Indians 55-0. So we're on track for another Bulldogs and Kingsman matchup next week. But taking a look at some of these scores from around the region, any that jump out in particular to you, Doug?
Yeah, a couple things in particular. I'm impressed. Wheeler High School had a great year, and then not to say it's over. I mean, they're playing a very good Andrean team. So, kudos to Wheeler and what they've done and what they're building. And it's hard to when you got to get through Andrean at some point in your sectional. That's a challenge always, but. They're getting things going the right way. And again, I mentioned it, but the Knox High School and Miles McLaughlin, he's already over 250 yards in the game. And as we mentioned, he's chasing some big-time records, national records.
Season records and career records at this point, too.
If they advance and they continue to win, Coach Radke's going to continue to feed him.
Yep.
And he's going to be close to that national record by the time he's done.
Yeah, that's been a fun storyline to follow. It's also interesting. Talk about how deep this sectional 10 is with the Vikings and Wolves, and then this other game, LaPorte and Chesterton tied up at 14. We saw LaPorte earlier in the season. They're another team, maybe like the Vikings, where their record doesn't tell the full story. They fight in a lot of these games, and a heavy dosage of the run game as well, but tied up with the Trojans at 14.
Again, as long as you don't beat yourself, you're going to be in any football game. And they have the running back and Reed Raymond that can control clock and keep you within the chains. And as long as you're doing everything and going the right direction and staying out of your own way, you're going to have a chance in the end. And that's what they're doing against Chesterton, who's also got the running back in Andrew Kavia. But again, we talked about the balance of this sectional. It's going to be a fun one. And I think Valpo, again, they need to score here in this possession. That would help them.
Yeah.
Before the game gets away from them, but they're right there. They're just a couple plays away.
This is a fun night for football as we are officially fully involved in the postseason. Class 5A and 6A starting tonight. And it's been a fun one to follow. You can follow all of tonight's Region Football scores live on the Hometown Scoreboard, streaming on youtube.com/Region Sports, facebook.com/Region Sports, and regionsports.com, courtesy of your neighborhood Strachan Van Til. Shop online for delivery or curbside pickup at strachanvantil.com. When we come back, we will recap the first half and preview the second half. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
At American Testing Services, based in Hobart, Indiana, we specialize in NDT drone inspections and heat treatment services for local mills, fab shops, and facilities across the country. From Northwest Indiana to nationwide, we deliver precision, safety, and reliability. American Testing Services, America's trusted name in NDT.
With offices in Munster and Cedar Lake, Ethos Dental Group offers a full scope of general and cosmetic dentistry with expertise ranging from porcelain veneers to dental implants, crowns, and bridges. At Ethos Dental Group, you're assured that Dr. Mark Stojkovic and his associates, Dr. Emily Hansen and Dr. Brian Douts, utilize the latest in technology. Check out ethosdentalgroup.com or call 219-595-3432 to schedule an appointment. Ethos Dental Group, dental care you can believe in. Located in the heart of downtown Indianapolis, the newly renovated Hampton Inn is within walking distance to over 30 restaurants and attractions, including Lucas Oilfield and Cambridge Fieldhouse. Hampton Inn has much to offer, including a hot breakfast, high-speed internet access in every room, as well as a fitness center. Why wait? Make your reservations today. Call 317-261-1200 or make them on the web at hamptonin3.hilton.com. Hampton Inn, Indianapolis, downtown. One of Northwest Indiana's most respected law firms, Burke, Costanza & Carberry, now has an office in LaPorte. With additional offices in Maryville and Valparaiso, BCC serves their clients with more than 20 attorneys. Providing trusted counsel and advocacy, BCC practices in a wide range of areas, including estate planning, real estate, and personal injury. BCC is committed to serving the region's growing legal needs. Learn more about Burke, Costanza & Carberry online at bcclegal.com.
Hi, my name is Mark Machnick. I'm the owner of Mark Machnick CPA firm in Highland, Indiana on Kennedy Avenue. I've been working with Region Sports for years now. Started working with Chris years ago, just on some special projects, advertising here and there. After a while, kind of increased the advertising. Mainly was doing it for the community involvement. It's such a great network and program they do with the high school sports. But as time went by, I started getting on there more frequently. And then the phone starts ringing. And I was getting calls all the time from people. Hey, I saw your ad on so-and-so football game. I saw your ad on a basketball game. And it's really helped my business. It's increased the volume. We're a tight community in Northwest Indiana, sports-wise, and just a lot of community involvement. So that's mainly why I got into it. Yeah, I remember watching one game. It was a basketball game, and I think there was a little bit of an altercation. And as the altercation was happening, my ad was right on the bottom, and someone typed in, "I wonder what Mark Machnick's thinking right now." And I was thinking, wow, this is awesome. It's really been a great feature for my business. It's the only advertising I do. I don't advertise anywhere else other than Region Sports. It's for the business, but mainly for the involvement with the community. I played high school baseball here in Highland, and ever since I've been advertising on Region Sports, a lot of my old coaches are now my clients. A lot of my old teammates come in here. My recommendation, if you're a business here in Northwest Indiana, I think Region Sports is, for your money, it's one of the best places that you can advertise. I mean, I can advertise on billboards. I could do anywhere I want to. And I choose Region Sports, mainly because I get a lot of feedback, especially on the high school level. A lot of the parents, if they can't make a game, they're watching it online. They're watching a replay, the grandparents. So it's done wonders for my business, and it's my go-to for advertising. It's the only spot I would advertise. So if you're a business owner in the area, really look into advertising on Region Sports. It's going to be well worth your money, and you'll make tenfold on what you're spending. Region Sports Network, they're the only game in town, but they're more than just a game.
You're watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network, presented by Armour Construction. Armour Construction for roofing, siding, gutters, and more. Call Armour Construction, 219-987-2023. Leo Stotterher, Doug Nelson with you here, and at the conclusion of tonight's game, we'll name the Boilermakers Local 374 Blue Collar Player of the Game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Earn while you learn with Boilermakers Local 374. So the Vikings of Valparaiso hosting the Wolves of Michigan City, and it's City jumping out to that 21-0 lead, led by 3 touchdowns, all in the second quarter, by the quarterback Trinniston Hart. One of 11 yards, one of 22, and then one of 30-plus for Hart, making something happen on a couple of genuine scrambles, one designed run. And it was an interesting second quarter where the Vikings had a couple chances. The Wolves had some chances as well, and they capitalized on those.
Yeah, again, they're finding ways to get the ball to McKinney, and Valpo's doing their best to cover him with the safety. But meanwhile, you got Hart in the backfield scrambling and then doing his. He's must be Mahomes for Halloween tonight, because he's putting on a good show. And when they're in man coverage, he kind of picks that up quickly and makes things happen on his own.
That has to be such a deflating type of feeling as the defense, too, when you try to cover up the Division I bound receiver, and then the quarterback can just break out. and scramble, pick up those yards that you're taking away from McKinney.
Well, the problem is, too, I mean, you could have a spy on him. You could run
Yeah.
a linebacker and spy on him, but good luck trying to catch him.
Right.
You know what I mean? Or contain him even. He was putting on a show over there on the far sideline, surrounded by like 4 guys and able to make a little shuffle pass and continue a drive. So he's a playmaker, and he's one of those guys we talked to, and we mentioned it in the pregame. He just makes things happen, and as long as he doesn't make the big mistake and maintain possession of the football, and like I said earlier, a couple of those balls were on the ground.
Yeah.
They could have bounced a different direction and went Valpo's way. So they're getting the breaks, and they're taking advantage of them right now.
And we've seen good work on the ground from Demarion Evans and Jeremy Hurd, too. On the other side of the ball, we saw the Vikings. They've been stopped twice on 4th down. One of those was an interception in the end zone by the Michigan City defense. They had a touchdown called back. They're trying to get something going offensively. What has maybe worked for them so far, and what do they need to keep trying to improve in the second half?
Well, we saw the Wildcat work, right, when they
Right.
brought in the freshman Gear and him and Finley in the background or the backfield and kind of keep the ball on the ground. And then they try to get a little fancy, and he tried to throw that over the top. And, Michigan City was just bringing pressure and getting in the backfield. So I think you can move the ball on the ground. There's plenty of time to do so. And then that would eventually open up things on the perimeter. But, you're not going to get it all back at once.
Right.
You got to win this possession and try to get back in the ballgame.
And it'll start with the Vikings receiving the kick to start the half, so that will certainly go well in their favor, as well as the Wolves the Vikings won the toss and deferred, elected to receive at the half, so that'll be big for them to. You certainly think you need 7 on that first drive to try to stay in this one and cool off what's been a red hot offense from Michigan City.
Yeah, you just got to get that 0 off the scoreboard.
Yeah.
It can be 3 at that point. Just that might be what it takes to get the momentum and get some energy flowing here. And the momentum was going that way when Gear was moving the football down the field, but that quickly went away when they went through the interception in the end zone.
This is a rematch of a Week 4 game where Michigan City took the win 27-21 for Hart. That game, he got it done through the air. 293 yards and 3 touchdowns. He has the 3 touchdowns matched today, but those have been through the ground. And so talking about how the Wolves have been able to mix it up a lot this year. One of the more deep offenses in the area with 2 good running backs, a wealth of receivers, and then the quarterback Hart, who is a dual threat. This has been a tough offense to stop.
Yeah, when he gets going north-south, he's pretty hard to catch and hard to control.
As both teams go through their final huddles before the half, and in postseason football now, trying to extend your season week by week, seeing what the Vikings can try to draw up and how the Wolves can continue to play with the lead. As the Vikings wearing their green helmets, black jerseys, black pants to complete the outfit. The Wolves, white helmets, white jerseys, and navy pants. We will get ready for this Quintel kickoff. This kickoff and all kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. We've seen the Wolves go with kind of the squib kick following their touchdowns, and it's resulted in kind of that second or third row from the Vikings to have to return. We'll see what they do here to start the third quarter.
Yeah, anything to keep out. As we mentioned, the speed of Valpo is impressive. You got Finley and Gear and some receivers that haven't really stepped up yet.
Right.
There's been some Valpo receivers have really not been a big part of this game yet, and I think they will. But as we mentioned, you just got to win this drive. Win this drive. Don't get caught up in the scoreboard. Win this drive. Get some points and then build off of that.
So Parisi and Smith will be the 2 deep to return for the Vikings, playing in front of their home crowd on Halloween. It's been a spirited crowd for the Vikings here. Despite the 2-7 record, they've been continuing to have rowdy crowds on hand all season. They're 0-4 here at home, so trying to get rid of that goose egg on the home record.
Well, as we meant, you got a program that's used to success.
Right.
And as we said also, that there's 4 of their losses were by 1 possession. So they've been in a lot of games. They just got to finish. They got to knock down the door.
So the Wolves set up, looking to kick this one from our right to our left. Barnes steps over to the left of the football, waiting for the all clear. And the third quarter is underway. It's a high kick towards the 30. The Vikings camp out under it, get it. Fedorchak driving forward, working to the 40, and Fedorchak with a nice run up after the catch to get to the 41-yard line.
Fedorchak saying, hey, make me a running back.
Yeah, we saw him with that about 22-yard pickup on the reverse, and then now 2 nice kick returns. He's been all over the field defensively, and he's been a ball carrier tonight as well.
How about a tight end? Give me a tight end look. Give me the ball. That's what a senior does.
Yeah.
I want the ball.
Play on both sides of the field.
Yeah,
and
urgency here. Play with some urgency.
As the Vikings get ready to work here. 1st and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Trying to drive their way to the end zone. Hosick in the shotgun. He'll have Finley to his right. 3 receivers to the right side of the line as well. And the ball on the exchange pops away. Hosick was looking to get it to Finley. There's a pile up. Who has it?
They're calling it Michigan City ball.
Yep. It'll be a Wolves football. So on the first play of the third quarter, it's a turnover. Michigan City adds another one to the turnover margin. They had an interception, and now the fumble recovery. It's not what the Vikings could afford to have happen there. The Wolves take over on the Viking 42-yard line.
That's got to be so deflating. You come out of the locker room, you probably got a pretty good plan, and first snap that happens. It's just, again, it was one of those RPOs, that miscommunication between the running back and the quarterback.
So Triniston Hart and the Michigan City offense getting ready to work here. Hart with 3 rushing touchdowns on the outing so far. He'll have Thurman to his right at running back, Collier, McKinney, and Laurent, the receivers. Stewart, the H-back. It's a handoff to Thurman. He breaks along the left side. He is twisted down by Fedorchak. So a 2-yard pickup. The offensive line for Michigan City led by Jeremiah Jones, Ralph Smith, Jack Soler, Jeremiah Hurd, and Edgar Garcia.
We go with that Valpo's guy. When you wish them, what could they could do with like a hybrid look? Kind of man underneath, but going zone over the top, because they are playing a couple safeties back, but just they got to come up with a different look.
Hart in the gun. Throws a strike to his right, connects with Laurent. He looks to break forward, escapes past a couple of Viking defensive backs. He had Bank, the initial tackler, was able to just go under his arms and then crawl forward for a couple extra. Balog with the tackle makes it 3rd and 1.
They're going to measure that.
And they might measure to see.
I thought that was a great effort by the receiver.
Yeah.
After the hit, maybe he came off because of equipment, but.
So he had Banks, the defensive back, wrap him up high, and then he kind of just went under him and drove forward. So 3rd and a yard from the 34. Garcia joins the backfield. Play action. Throw to the left side of the line. Diving catch by McKinney.
Jeez.
That popped out of his hands. Then he was able to reel it back in as he fell towards the turf. So Zaire McKinney picks up the Four Seasons mechanical first down.
That is such a big play. I mean, that's the kind of play that's sometimes picked. And gone the other way. That little out pattern. The receiver, the secondary jumped that or something, and he put that only where McKinney could get it, and he went out and got it.
So the senior receiver makes another catch. 1st and 10 from the 28. Hart, swing pass to the right to Evans. Evans jukes forward and then is brought down by the Vikings, but he's able to get a handful of yards. It was Cheek with the tackle and really drove him down to the turf.
Yeah.
Just about 3 yards to go after that swing pass to Evans. From the 22-yard line. Hart in the shotgun, Evans to his left. It'll be a handoff to Evans. He moves down the right side, continues to weave forward to the 10, where he's eventually halted by the safety. Fedorchak with the tackle. Makes it 1st and goal from the 8 for the Wolves. So following the fumble recovery, Michigan City going for a drive here. About
Yeah, they just don't have an answer for Michigan City's offense right now.
34 yards so far on this drive. In just over 2 minutes of game time. Hart in the shotgun, stepping back, looking to pass. Scans left, fires towards Collier, and it's a little bit ahead of him, incomplete. Looking for the left corner of the end zone, incomplete. Brings up second down.
Yeah, I don't think it's a problem, as we've seen. It's not a problem for them to be second and long,
right,
or behind the sticks. We've seen it all night, and as we've said, you don't want to make it a habit, but it's just not a concern of theirs, and we noticed that the first time they played as well.
Second down. They put a receiver in motion to the right. They will hand it off to Stewart. He tries to bob and weave forward and then loses his footing around the 2. Could have been a great play for Nick Stewart, but he slips up around the 3-yard line. The 3rd and goal for the Wolves.
Yeah, Valpo's got to make a stand here, Leo. Got to keep the ball out of the end zone.
8:48 left to play. 3rd and goal from the 3-yard line. Hart puts McKinney in motion. Drops it off to McKinney. McKinney drives, turns the corner, and makes his way into the end zone for a touchdown.
It's a good job of, it's a good, I know McKinney gets the pub and and Hart gets it and the press, but the line, what about the line, the work that they're doing, I don't know if he got touched on that play, So
the 3-yard run from McKinney makes it 27-0 in favor of the Wolves. For McKinney, he has over 100 rushing yards on the season. That's his first rushing touchdown. Barnes boots the PAT through the uprights. It's now a 28-0 lead for Michigan City. You're watching the IHSA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
For 26 years, Armour Construction has been beautifying homes across Northwest Indiana. From expert roofing and durable siding to eye-catching custom copper work, Armour Construction does it all with the highest quality and integrity. Serving Lake, Porter, and LaPorte counties, trust the best exterior construction company in Northwest Indiana to protect your investment.
Have you heard? Stratton-Manteau was voted Best of the Region 2025 in several categories, including Best Caterer, Deli, Flower Shop, Food and Grocery Delivery, Fried Chicken, Place to Buy Produce, Place to Buy Seafood, Loyalty Program, and Grocery Store. We're proud to be recognized by our community, and we're committed to continuing to deliver the variety, value, and convenience you deserve. See for yourself what it means to be the best when you shop at Stratton-Manteau.
Welcome back as Armour Construction presents the RSN Game Night coverage of the IHSA Football Tournament right here on the Region Sports Network on the Quintel Kickoff. Parisi trying to roll forward, gets to the 33-yard line before he's brought down.
That's Fedorchak.
Fedorchak again. Another nice kick return by Ben Fedorchak on the Quintel Kickoffs. All kickoffs are presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. So Kellen Hosick and the Vikings take over on their own 37-yard line, trailing 28-0 with just under 8.5 minutes remaining in the third quarter. They'll have some work to do near the right hash mark.
There's still time, Leo, but you gotta start chipping away here.
Trying to avoid any miscues like the fumble they had on the last drive. Tight formation, 2 receivers to either side, both near the line. They'll put Finley in motion to the right. Hosick, pressure to the left, trying to throw it. He has to hang on to the football as he's dropped down for a sack. The Wolves get to him.
Number 90.
That was DeAndre Wilson, the senior, able to get to him for a 1-yard loss.
That was like a disciplined sack there by Wilson. He just kind of he maintained the edge, and kind of fought off the lineman, and it was nothing fancy. He just disciplined. He stayed home.
2nd and 11 for Hosick and the Vikings. We'll have one receiver to the right side of the line. That will be Danzy. Everybody else to the left. They'll put Parisi in motion, left side. The ball falls out of Hosick's hands. He has to pick it up. and then he'll be swarmed to by the Wolves and brought down just past the line of scrimmage. So another unfortunate bounce for the Vikings, as on the snap, it slipped out of Hosick's hands and bounced right back up to him almost like a basketball, and then he had to try to make something happen there.
Again, that was a very fortunate bounce. But, he would this isn't his best game of the year. It's second year starting quarterback. He took over for Justin Clark, who had a nice career here at Valpo as well.
So 3 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. 3rd and 11 for the Vikings. Hosick and Finley in the shotgun. Finley sent out towards the right. Hosick's looking left. Throws a strike to Parisi. He spins, gets to it, shakes off one tackler, but then the rest of the pack comes in, finishes off the play, sending Parisi backward, but he gets enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yeah, they need more of that. And in your Michigan City, you're kind of giving them that right now. You're kind of letting them stay underneath and keeping them in front of you.
So the Vikings get the Four Seasons Mechanical first down, moving to their own 49-yard line. The nose of the football is at midfield. Trio of receivers to the left, 1 to the right. Hosick looking for the pressure. Passing. Pockets collapsing. He has to get out. Breaks through one tackler. A second gets to him. Throws him down as he throws it away. They will say he was down before he got rid of the football. Damon Thomas gets the sack. 2-yard loss.
Yeah, the front four of Michigan City making Hosick's evening very not enjoyable. But and that's keeping him from being able to look down the field and find his receivers.
So 2-yard loss courtesy of Thomas makes it 2nd and 12 for the Vikings on their own 48-yard line, trying to find their way to the end zone. Hosick and Finley in the shotgun. Finley to the right of Hosick. Hosick keeps it, fakes the handoff, breaks through midfield, keeps going to the 40, and then is angled out of bounds. So Hosick on the keeper. Did he get enough for the first down? He did. It's a Four Seasons Mechanical first down on the quarterback keeper from Kellen Hosick.
Yeah, they've had some success moving the football on the ground, but it's got to come in chunks at this point.
5:32 left to play in the third quarter. Vikings trying to put together a drive on the Wolves' 40-yard line. Hosick, play action. Throws low, and it's batted down. Swatted away by Devontae Fields. And if he could have reeled that one in, that could have been a pick six. But instead, he just knocks it down with the right hand.
Yeah, that was a good read there by Fields. Hosick's kind of staring guys down right now. He's kind of, in Michigan City's kind of got their ears pinned back. Again, I found Valpo. I know you know, the time is not your friend, but you might work on the ground. The ball's moving on the ground.
5 minutes, 29 seconds to play in the third quarter. 2nd and 10 from the 40 for the Vikings. Hosick dropping back in the pocket. Pump fakes. Lets one fly. Downfield. This time it is intercepted by Thomas. Thomas is going to run it toward the 30. Thomas with his second interception of the game as the Vikings still surrounding him, trying to bring him down. They will eventually stop him at the 25. So Thomas with the interception will bring Hart and the Wolf offense back onto the field.
Yeah, as we said, the very predictable right now. Michigan City's coming after him. And then it looks like there was some contact there as he was throwing it, and which led to that turnover.
So third turnover of the evening for the Michigan City defense. As we mentioned, the offense getting a lot of the praise from Michigan City, but the defense has been ready to play tonight.
Right, that front four is putting pressure on Hosick all night.
So Hart and the Wolves make their way back onto the field at their own 27 near the left hash mark. The Viking defense looking for a stop here as Michigan City leads 28-0.
Yeah, Valpo comes in averaging scoring 20 points a game. And right now they got a big old goose egg, so City's done an amazing job.
On the play action, Hart will keep it, squeaks to the left side of the line, and then tripped up near the 39. So Hart, again, going through the ground, picks up about 5 yards, or 6 yards on first down.
That's all you need at this point, right? Keep the clock running and keep moving the sticks.
4 yards to go on second down. Hart hands it off to Evans. Evans, room to work on the left side, is dragged out of bounds, or goes out of bounds, drags a couple of Vikings with him on that next play. Nick Fry in on the tackle for the Vikings. And it is enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down, presented by our friends at Four Seasons Mechanical in Merrillville. 4:44 left to play in the third quarter.
What is impressive tonight is also not only Hart's skill, but his decision making. He's managed the game very well, with no turnovers yet for Michigan City.
New set of downs. Hart looks to the sideline for the play call. Keeps his team at the line. Hands it off to Evans. He cuts backward, trying to break forward. Stops, halts, drives, and will pick up about 3 yards. Makes something happen there as the Vikings were following him, but then he was just able to shake and move forward to pick up 3 yards before being brought down by a couple of Vikings.
Yeah,
Sam Thorgren with the tackle.
It was almost like he decided, I want to stay in bounds, which is a smart move.
Right.
It seemed to me like that was a part of that play right there.
3 yards on the ground for Evans, so both Evans and Thurman doing a good job on the ground for the Wolves. Hart looking to pass on first down. Turns to the right, fires one downfield. It is caught by Collier as then he steps out of bounds.
What a great ball, though, huh? He caught it, gave him a catch.
It was Stewart with the catch on the long pass downfield. The Wolves 23 yards through the air from Hart to Stewart at the 4-minute mark. 1st and 10 on the Four Seasons Mechanical first down. We'll again bring Edgar Garcia in the backfield. The offensive lineman playing fullback here. That's a play fake. The throw towards McKinney at the end zone. He extends, and it falls incomplete. He was trying to make the one-armed catch, but then it popped out as his right hand with the football hit the turf. He was well guarded on the play by a Viking defensive back. Incomplete. That'll make it 2nd and 10.
They get to that. We talked a little bit about it, Leo, but if they get one more score, then that's the IHSA rule of the running clock. We've been told.
The Vikings trying to prevent having their season end on a running clock type game, trying to bring it closer against a tough Michigan City team as there's 4 seconds on the play clock. Hart gets the snap off, throws to McKinney on a screen pass to the left.
Jeez.
McKinney jukes past one defender, and then will step into the end zone. Zaire McKinney with the receiving touchdown adds to the Wolves' lead.
See that little jukey there?
Yeah, that was real nice.
There's a Valpo, some Valpo peril laying on about the 12-yard line when he juked the guy.
McKinney with his 2nd touchdown of the night, 1 rushing, 1 receiving. Goes 22 yards for pay dirt there. That will be his 10th receiving touchdown of the year as he approaches 1,100 yards on the season. 3:48 left to go in the third quarter. The Wolves lead 34-0, waiting the extra point from Barnes. So we'll see that one go through the uprights. It is 35-0 with 3:48 remaining. You are watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
From lighting up Friday night football to powering the classrooms that shape the students of Lake County, IBEW Local 697 is proud to support our region's schools and the communities we call home. A career as a union electrician could be your next great move. Your next cap might be a hard hat. IBEW Local 697, powering futures, powering the region.
The Quintel kickoff skips to the 30, and then the Vikings try to bring it upfield. Fedorchuk with another run-up. Those kickoffs presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. You are also watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network, presented by Armour Construction. For roofing, siding, gutters, and more, call Armour Construction at 219-987-2023. So now it's a running clock for Kellen Hosick and the Viking offenses. They're trying to find a way to put points on the board, trailing 35-0 to their conference rival Michigan City.
I know it's the postseason and you're not going to quit. You know, Coach Marshall is not going to quit and throw in the towel just yet, but when do you start making the decision to put guys in? You know, he's a very classy guy with a classy staff, and they do it the right way, but when do you make that decision?
They'll hand it off to Finley, and so you also looking at a lot of these players. You got Hosick, a senior, Finley, a senior, playing potentially their last game as a Viking. Fedorchuk, some of these longtime starters playing their last game here at Valparaiso High School in the green and black. So trying to make sure they are done by rights in their last game, as it's a 3-yard pickup for Finley. Hosick in the shotgun with Finley to his right, 2 receivers to either side. Tries the hard count. 6 seconds on the play clock. The snap, he throws to his left, gets it to Vernard, who spins past a tackler, and it's enough for a four-season mechanical first down. It's a 7-yard pickup.
Yeah, if you're in it to still win it, you got to show some urgency.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You got to play a little tempo here.
1:54 left to go in the third quarter. Clock still running as Smoot made the tackle. Hosick hurries, gets his team to the line. They have a tight end to the left. They'll put Finley in motion. He's looking right towards Finley on the swing pass, and then Finley breaks past what could have been a devastating hit and keeps moving. Michael Hopp had him read well there, but then Finley was able to turn at the last minute and avoid what could have been a bad collision, and it was at least able to get maybe a yard on that play.
And I think Hopp did a great job of holding on.
Yeah.
You know, he kind of had that big hit, like you said. It could have been a big hit, and then there's a flag on the play. But
right.
But Hopp, I thought that showed some strength there.
Because that could sometimes be difficult. You go for the blow-up hit, and then you miss.
Yeah.
And then you're just caught.
Yeah, and you kind of lose the guy.
So we'll see what the penalty call is as it stops time with 1:20 remaining, and it will be a holding on the
both ways
or personal foul. So offsetting penalties.
Second down.
So 2nd and 8 for the Vikings. Second down, 8 yards to go from the 37. A minute and change left to play in the third quarter as the Vikings in the huddle still. Trying to get to the line with some urgency. It was a 2-yard pickup through the air from Hosick to Finley. Hosick, play action, rolling to his left. Throws towards the tight end. There's a penalty marker on the field. Machichi leans forward and drives through a tackler at the 50. But we will get this sorted out. That's what you also want to avoid, the game being where it is, both sides. I don't want penalties to impact you here.
The thing about it, too, is, well, you know, why they figure out these penalties, the clock's still running.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they could take all night if you're a Michigan City fan. So Machichi's a name you haven't mentioned much tonight, too, Leo. He's one of their top receivers, and as we mentioned, Hosick's having a hard time getting the ball downfield when he's running for his life. With Michigan City front four coming after him.
So will be a legal formation on the Vikings. That will send them backward. 2nd and 13 from the 42.
Yeah, by the time
40. And that will run out the fourth quarter at this point. So we have 3 quarters in the books here. 1 more to go. Michigan City leads over Valparaiso 35-0. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction and the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Four Seasons Mechanical proudly serves Northwest Indiana, providing quality, reasonably priced, reliable service. With a quality and comfort guarantee, the professionals at Four Seasons Mechanical offer a wide range of services in heating, ventilation, and air conditioning. Whether it's residential or commercial, Four Seasons Mechanical is there 24/7. To find out more, the website is fourseasonsmechanical.com or give them a call at 219-756-7020. Four Seasons Mechanical, your indoor air quality specialist.
Old Man Winter is just around the corner, and that means temperatures will soon begin to drop. And a region winter is not the time to be left out in the cold. The professionals at Economy Electric Heating and Cooling can tune up that old furnace or install a new unit that can last for years. Your family deserves to stay comfortable this winter, and with 24/7 emergency service, comfort is just a phone call away. Economy Electric Heating and Cooling, 219-923-4441. Or for more info, the website is forajobdoneright.com.
So, you're watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network, presented by Armour Construction. For roofing, siding, gutters, and more, call Armour Construction, 219-987-2023. You can also stay with us after the game when we'll name the proud-to-be union play of the game, presented by Ironworkers Local 395. Go to ironworkers395.com to start your future as an ironworker. It's a quick dump pass towards Finley. He shakes past the tackler, keeps going, spins, and falls. Hosick with a long pass to Finley. Finley with some nice run after catch to get the Four Seasons Mechanical first down and move into Michigan City territory.
Yeah, I'd like to see him, like we said, play a little tempo here. Put the pressure on Michigan City, you know.
Smoot makes the tackle, so it's a long pickup on the run after catch by Finley. So the Vikings trying to get on the board here. First and 10 from the 37. Hosick hands it off to Finley. They try to arm tackle him. He spins through it, and then they will surround him and bring him down for maybe 2 yards for Finley. But Finley fighting for every yard on that play. Gibson with the tackle. Vikings move it to the city 35-yard line, so it'll be second down. They'll need 8 yards to go to get a new set of downs.
I'm sure Michigan City would love to have that goose egg up on the board, but they're playing for a little pride. But, you know, they want to keep that, send a message.
Hosick on first down, or second down, looking to pass. Connects with Machichi. He steps forward to the 25. Machichi with another nice run after the catch. Picks up the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yeah, he gave the Michigan City kid a little push on the sideline, and Coach Marshall made sure that that does not happen again.
So he moves to the 23. Machichi gets the Four Seasons Mechanical first down as the Vikings trying to get closer and closer to pay dirt here on the Wolves' 23. So just under 10 minutes to play in the fourth quarter. Hosick trying to get his troops ready, getting the play call. So they break the huddle. 2 seconds to go. There.
It's the play clock, guys.
The play clock is at 0, and well, we see.
No one was calling it.
Yeah. Yeah, it went for about maybe 5 seconds after. Everybody kind of just standing around, and
Michigan City was standing up. The defensive guys were pointing to the game clock like guys.
So that will move the Vikings back 5 yards to the 27. 9 minutes, 19 seconds and counting to go for the Vikings as they're trying to get to the end zone here. They did have that really good drive where they went to the Wildcat gear, nearly had a touchdown, but it was called back. Hosick dumps it off to Parisi. He shakes forward, throws a tackler forward, and Parisi gets maybe 7 yards there.
It was almost like a little middle screen there, wasn't it?
Yeah, that seems to be what they've been doing a lot on this drive. Just those quick delays and
little dump plays.
Looking for those yards after catch. So the 18-yard line. The Vikings get ready to work on second down. Hosick gives it to Finley. Finley drives and gets upended at the 15. Tackled on the play by Anthony Gibson. Was able to take away the legs from Finley. So he gets about 5 yards, makes it 3rd and 4 with 8:11 to go.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the city's going to have a little pride here. They're not going to let them just go in the end zone, right? I mean, they're up by 5 touchdowns, but they're not going to let up.
3rd and 4 from the 16. Vikings have Finley behind Hosick in the pistol. 3 receivers out right. They will toss it backward to Parisi. He looks to keep fighting for every yard, and then he is forced into the sideline, and then he's thrown down.
Yeah,
and now there will be a penalty on that play as the Wolves did not let up after Parisi was carried out of bounds. It was Collier with the tackle.
Be half the distance, right?
And it could help the Vikings, as not sure if he had enough yards for the first down, as the officials talking things over. So it will be half the distance to the goal on the personal foul. That will help out, and we'll see Cooper Gear join the huddle for the Vikings after they will pick up a Four Seasons mechanical first down via the penalty.
I think you see the Wildcat look here, Leo.
That'll be 1st and goal from the 4. They're going to bring the freshman in as he'll try to power forward as he had that physical drive. So Gear bringing the Vikings to the line here. 1st and goal from the 9-yard line. Gear with Fedorchuk to his left.
What a backfield, huh?
Yeah, we've seen.
The play clock just now started.
Yeah, Fedorchuk getting involved in all 3 phases of the game this evening. Gear puts a tight end in motion. Takes the snap. Breaks to the left side of the line. Fedorchuk sets a block. Gear keeps running. Gets to the 5 and then is forced out of bounds. That's a Gear with a 6-yard pickup. Moves to the 3. Buskirk with the tackle.
I think you run that same play over to the wide side of the field. And
yeah, as they're on the left hash mark, so
yeah.
A lot of room on that right side.
Might be 6 points for Valpo if you run the Fedorchuk leading the block over there.
2nd and goal for the Vikings from the 3. 5.5 minutes remaining in the game. Gear in the shotgun. Fedorchuk to his right. They'll put Machichi in motion to the right. Gear steps back. Now he goes to the right. He's got room to go. Turns the corner. Breaks through one tackler and steps into the end zone. Cooper Gear puts the Vikings on the board.
Yeah. Again, he's got a bright future, doesn't he, Leo? Yeah. That's a true freshman playing against kids 3 or 4 years older than him. That's impressive.
So time keeps running with 5:09 left to play. Score 35-6. Gear with his 2nd rushing touchdown of the season. As they await the PAT, Faulkner will look to try to send this one through the uprights. Danzy with the hold, Sam Thorgren with the snap. Thorgren snap, Danzy's hold, and the kick from Faulkner, all good. So that will make it a 35-7 score for the Wolves, still with the lead, but the Vikings able to put together a scoring drive. As you're watching coverage of the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
Earn while you learn from the best hands in the business. The Bricklayers Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. That's right, this is a paid apprenticeship.
I'm getting an education while learning a trade and getting paid for it.
The thing that surprised me the most about this apprenticeship program is the respect I have received after the proper time and training.
Classes start soon, so apply now. There are training centers throughout Indiana and Kentucky. We are the Bricklayers and Allied Craftworkers for Indiana Kentucky Apprenticeship. The best hands in the business.
Flip the switch, a light turns on. Press the button, machines and instruments come to life. Touch the screen, communicate with the world. Simple tasks, guaranteed results, every second of every day. That's the power of power. And that's the power brought to you by the NECA contractors and electrical workers of Local 531.
Looks like the Vikings are going to try the onside on this Quintel kickoff. All kickoffs presented by Quintel Incorporated, handling jobs of all sizes throughout the country since 1994. Faulkner skips it, takes a high bounce, goes up and in the air. Laurent was able to reel it in at the 45, and then the Vikings sent him tumbling back to the 40. You're watching coverage of the Indiana High School Football State Tournament on the Region Sports Network, presented by Armour Construction.
That's a gutsy play there by Laurent. Meek Laurent, right? I mean,
yeah.
You know you're about ready to get your bell rung.
Right. He had to go up in the air to get that one
Yeah.
and be ready for impact. And so was still able to hang on to the football. So the Wolves, with 4:11 left to play in the ball game, will bring their offense onto the field and hopefully try to run things out here. Hill will be joined in the backfield by Collier. 2 receivers to either side. It'll be a handoff to Collier. He looks to run through the middle, and the Vikings are going to surround him and bring him down. They let him cross midfield, but don't get much more than that. So a 7-yard gain for Collier on the ground. Or 5 yards. 2nd and 5 from the 48. Or 2nd and 3, pardon me. So it was a 7-yard pickup for Collier. Garcia in the backfield, so the fullback in. He helps pave the way for Collier as he looks to drive forward, gets past the 45. That will be enough for the Four Seasons Mechanical first down.
Yeah, they're getting pretty close to kneel time here. These officials, you get that running clock. You see the white hat real slow with that play clock. You watch him. He's going to wait and wait and wait.
2 minutes, 50 seconds remaining as Wolves get set up at the 42, and we'll head to the line with 20 seconds on the play clock.
Well, all in all here, Leo, I think Michigan City was very impressive tonight.
Especially defensively with 3 turnovers and
Yeah.
2 stops on 4th down. High snap, Hart hands it off to Collier. Tries to break through a pair of Vikings. Thorgren helps wrestle him down for maybe a 2-yard pickup. So making it 2nd and 8, just over 2 minutes left to play. As the Wolves just trying to run time down here with the ball at the 40. Leading 35-7. They will face the winner of that LaPorte-Chesterton game. I'll try to get a update on the score of that one as we are getting close to the finish here.
It's going to be a barn burner either way, Leo.
Now, this is, as we've mentioned, this sectional 10, a very tough one.
Yeah.
Hart with the handoff to Collier. He powers forward. The Vikings surround him and bring him down with a backward tackle.
I think the biggest thing tonight, as we talked about it, did Michigan City have any turnovers? I don't think they turned the ball over.
I don't think so.
So as long as
they
don't,
had a couple balls that dropped, but they were able to recover those, which, especially early on, that could have been the difference.
And
the first play of the game was kind of that awkward snap, but they were able to pounce on it and prevent a turnover near their own end zone.
Right, and as long as they don't do that, as long as they don't give the other team extra possessions, they're going to be hard to beat. They're going to be a tough out. I know. Next week will be tough, and of course the week after will probably be Maryville, and that would be a really tough ball game. But that'd be a good one to see.
As there's just under a minute to go here, and trying to avoid any extracurriculars here as
they need to get off the field.
Yep, they're starting. Temper's starting to flare here as following that play, there was maybe a little shoving going on there.
There was nothing wrong with the block. It was Garcia, our guy, number 60, pancaked the kid down the field. And
getting a late Strachan Van Til hometown scoreboard update. Chesterton leading in the 4th quarter, 17-14 over LaPorte.
Yeah. He just reset the play clock there so they don't have to snap it again.
So the referee, for all intents and purposes, ended the game. The Michigan City Wolves will advance to the sectional championship with a 35-7 win over the Valparaiso Vikings. They've defeated the Vikings twice this season. The Vikings season will come to an end with a record of 2-8 on the year. While the Wolves, their season will be extended by a week. They improve to 7-3 on the year. We will hand out some post-game hardware when we come back and wrap this one up. You're watching the IHSAA Football State Tournament presented by Armour Construction on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.
If you are injured in a worksite accident or hurt by a defective product, go with the guy that has a proven track record litigating these cases. Otto Schregel, a principal partner at the Allen Law Group, will make sure those responsible for hurting you are held to account for their negligence. With multiple offices in Indiana and Illinois, you can reach them at 219-465-6292 or reach them out on the web at www.kenallenlaw.com.
When it comes to your money, you deserve more than just numbers on a page. You deserve someone who sees the full picture. Meet Mark Machnick, one of Northwest Indiana's most trusted accounting professionals. Whether you're running a business, planning for retirement, or just trying to make sense of tax season, Mark Machnick, located in Highland, makes it simple, personal, and believe it or not, painless. Contact Mark and his team today at 219-595-5290. Mark Machnick, CPA.
Stay with the Region Sports Network after the game as we'll send it back to the Centier Bank studio. Region Sports will recap all of tonight's action from around the region, all from the Centier Bank studio. As we get ready to hand out some post-game accolades, we will start things off with the Crowell Companies Lantern Man superhero of the game. Crowell Companies have offices open from 9 o'clock to 7 o'clock Monday through Friday and Saturdays till 2 o'clock in Highland, Merrillville, and Michigan City.
We went with the Michigan City quarterback, number 1, Trent Rouse-Hart. Again, as we said, he scored, 3 touchdowns on the ground. He managed the game well. He didn't turn it over. He didn't help beat themselves, and that's why Michigan City's advancing, and that's why he's our player of the game.
Yeah, 3 touchdowns rushing, 1 touchdown passing. Moving things along, it's time to name the blue-collar player of the game, brought to you by Boilermakers Local 374. Learn about apprenticeship programs and more at local374.org.
I went with the Valpo senior, Ben Fedorchuk, right?
Yeah.
He laying the lumber on defense. He got in on special teams, returned a couple kicks. He was in the backfield in probably Valpo's best drive.
Yeah.
And he just a little bit of everything. And again, that's what seniors do. And he just wants to be a part of the action, and so that's why he's our blue-collar player of the game.
He helped set that block on their lone touchdown of the night as well, so a blue-collar effort for Fedorchuk. And now it's time to name the Proud to Be Union Play of the Game presented by Ironworkers Local 395. To find out how you can become a union ironworker, visit ironworkers395.com.
Well, in the second quarter there, when Michigan City put up 21 points, we went with that third down play down in their own territory. It was kind of a momentum play where Hart kind of shuffled to the right and had 2 or 3 guys around him and kind of threw a back little shuffle pass and got the first down and kept the chains moving. And at the time, the game was still competitive, and he kept the chains moving, so that's why we went with that as the play of the game.
So now time to thank everyone involved with this evening's broadcast. To our management team at Region Sports, Chris Ramirez, Rich Castillo, Heather Ames, Zach Miller, and Mike Dewan. My broadcast partner, Doug Nelson. To our producer, Zach Sinelli. Our cameraman, Martin Murillo. Great job all around by our crew. Special thanks to the coaches from each side, Cody French of Michigan City and Bill Marshall of Valparaiso. The athletic directors, Michigan City's Ben Bachman and Valparaiso's Stacey Adams. And to the viewers at the IHSAA Champions Network, to Facebook/Region Sports Nation, YouTube/Region Sports, and regionsports.com. This is Leo Staudacher thanking you for watching Game Night on the Region Sports Network, the only game in town.